The United States has over 100,000 miles of coastline. More than half the country's population lives in coastal communities. But sea levels are rising, and more powerful storms are increasingly putting every coastal town in America at risk.
From FEMA's perspective, the attention to future risk and how that gets incorporated into the planning that goes on in local communities as well as at a state level is absolutely essential.
Fortunately, state coastal zone management programs and their federal partners are responding by finding ways to reduce impacts to coastal communities.
We have our land use planning staff that work with local communities to try to identify good policies and practices that can reduce flood insurance premiums for coastal communities. We have permitting staff that are working to implement reasonable setbacks for development in highly eroding areas.
We've had great success with communities incorporating adaptation strategies into their comprehensive plans, improving their shoreland zoning ordinances and floodplain management ordinances.
It's part of the State Planning Act now, so all of our agencies and our counties in either their planning or decision making have to consider climate change adaptation.
By 2025, 75% of the U.S. population will live on the coast. 57% of our GDP is produced there. 95% of all U.S. trade passes through coastal ports. Our lives, lifestyles, and economy are all connected to our coasts. Coastal resiliency planning and response must be equally connected.
In Virginia, the Coastal Zone Management Program knows where all of the people who are doing smart things are. They basically helped us form a partnership that endures today. This is 4 or 5 years ago they started.
It's something that's happening across the nation. East Coast, West Coast, Gulf of Mexico, Great Lakes, our islands and territories. They're all working with leaders to work on coastal resiliency.
We're learning a lot from our mainland counterparts in coastal zone management programs. We're learning a lot from our partners.
All federal agencies that have some skin in the game, so to speak, on coastal resiliency and adaptation are taking interagency cooperation very seriously.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, is coordinating and supporting this effort in partnership with state coastal management programs. It's a unique partnership that respects state leadership in managing their coasts, while ensuring that national interests are protected.
NOAA facilitates a good dialogue among the coastal states, and we get together with NOAA coastal policy experts and other coastal states to talk about different practices and approaches that we're all taking and learn from each other.
The federal agencies bring their best resources, tools, and techniques to the state level, and then we disseminate those tools, techniques, develop relationships with municipalities.
It provides the states the ability to take that federal money and utilize it to address emerging concerns in their states. And the way that Delaware sees its high priority resource management issues are not the same as maybe California or Alaska.
Our program is a network of different state agencies, county agencies, which is the lowest form of government that we have in Hawaii, and also our federal partners. So we're looking integratedly at sea level rise and climate change.
We actually provide policy development, technical assistance, research, monitoring, education, training, and grant programs for our communities as one cohesive unit. And this makes a huge difference when we're working on something like sea level rise, like preparing our communities to be more resilient for coastal storms.
It now costs about 4 times as much to recover from a dramatic weather event than it does to prepare for it. The nation will spend more than $60 billion for Sandy restoration and recovery.
If we don't act now on preparing our coast to be more resilient to sea level rise, we will waste so much money. And it's not just affecting the people that live right on the water, it will affect everybody.
What you have in the CZMA is a number of state programs that have existing trusted relationships on the ground with a variety of state agencies, federal agencies that overlap in the coastal zone, all the local governments and key stakeholders throughout our coastal zones. We know it better than anyone. And so by NOAA supporting our programs as a partnership to address these national priorities, I don't see any other way you can get that done.
It also begins to feed the work that we do on response, because as we deal with more intense events, the kind of work that has gone on in communities to plan ensures that we have ways to bring in first responders and support that effort.
It's very circular, really. We prepare and plan here. The federal liability is less in the future.
Our national leaders have a simple choice. Support and invest in coastal zone management programs now before the next Sandy strikes, or pay the price later. For more information, contact the Coastal States Organization at www.coastalstates.org.